neckline. I folded this shirt into two this way, so I'm trying to measure around the neckline. So I'll place my tape from the black fabric there to the middle of my neckline. And what I have there, I have about 8¼ inch. So here I have my collar stay folded into two. At this part that I'm trying to rule is not straight, so I'm trying to achieve a straight line over there. I'll mark a straight line, and then I'll go ahead and trim this off. So I'm doing this to be able to achieve a straight line. So after I was done trimming, this is what I have. Now from the middle of my fold over there, I'll go ahead and take the measurements that I took around my neckline. I'll mark 8¼ inch there. After marking that point, I'll go ahead and determine how high I want my collar stand to be. Now notice that we are drafting a collar stand and the collar itself together. But first, this is the collar stand. So I marked 1.25 inches there, and I also marked at this folded part, I marked 1.25 inch there. So I'll connect this. So I'm basically doing this to be able to achieve a straight line. So after marking, this is what I have for the collar stand. Now I'll be drafting the collar. So from that point, I went in by 1 inch. I made a mark there. So I'll go up by 2 inches. I want my collar, the height of my collar to be 2 inches. Then I'll connect this way. After connecting, at that 2 inches point, I'll go out by ½ inch. I'll go out by ½ inch and I'll connect to this point this way. So once I was done with that, I'll cancel out this first line. It's no longer needed. Now at this folded part of my collar stay, I'll go up by 1½ inch. So this is just basically how I want that center part to be. So I'll use the curve part of my ruler to just make a slight curve line over there. So once I was done with this, you can just leave it like this. You can just cut it out like this, or you can do this next part now. So this part is optional. From there, I just went down by ½ inch. I just gave it a little curve there. So this part is actually optional. You can decide to make it, just leave it straight like that. You can just decide to make this little curve. So once I was done with that, I'll go ahead and cut my collar out. Now note that while we were cutting this out, we didn't add any allowance. So we'll be adding the allowances on the fabric. So this is what I have. I went ahead to open up this collar. So the parts that has the gum, I'll iron it down to the wrong side of my fabric. Once I was done ironing, I'm just trimming out, leaving about ½ inch all around this. So this is just one piece. I'll go ahead and use this to cut out another piece this way, right sides facing each other this way. I'll just cut it out. So this is what I have once I was done cutting. So I'll take this to my sewing machine. Remember, I added ½ inch right on the fabric. So this is right sides facing each other. I'll take this to my sewing machine and I will stitch around this place that I'm showing you now. I will stitch around the top, the sides, and the other side. I won't be stitching down these down parts. I'll stitch the other sides. So once I was done stitching, this is what I have. I'll go ahead and trim out the excess allowances. After trimming, I'll make notches around it. Then I'll turn it out. So at this particular point, that place that went inside a little bit, I'll just go ahead and make notches there so I can be able to turn out my collar properly. I'll make notches on the other side and I'll turn my collar out. So once I was done turning, I'll take it to my ironing table. I'll just iron this flat nicely. So at this edge, I'll try and bring it out. As you can see, I'm using my pen to just push it out a little. You need to be careful while you are doing this so you will not end up ruining this. So once I was done turning out, I'll take this and iron it neatly. As you can see, I've already ironed this, and I went ahead to fold in the 1/2 inch allowance on both sides. So I'll bring in my shirt. I'll arrange this neck, this round neck like this. Then I'll just make a notch at the middle. I'll make a notch at the middle. Then I'll pick up my collar. I'll push out one side that I already folded in. I'll push it out to just make a little notch over there. Then I'll place it on my shirt, right sides facing each other. I'll place it right sides facing each other, and from one end I will stitch to the end of the neckline. I'll come back to the other end. I'll stitch to the other end of the neckline. Once I was done with that, I'll bring it back and show you what I have. So after stitching the one end of the collar, this is what I have. As you can see, it's looking really nice and neat. So for the other end, remember I already folded 1/2 inch allowance. So I'll use this hemming gum. I'll place it inside this way. I'm doing this in order to be able to achieve a nice and neat finishing. I'll push this hemming gum inside, arrange it properly in place, then I will use my iron to press this so I can stay flat. So guys, just take your time. You don't have to rush while you are doing this. Just take your time so that it can come out nicely. So just take your time while you are arranging a 1/2 inch that you folded. Take your time to iron this properly in place so that it will be very neat. So on this other side, I'm trying to fix hemming gum inside there, and I'll press nicely this way. So guys, this is what I have. Once I was done, this is what I have. So I'll go ahead and make a top stitch right there that I ironed. I'll make a top stitch there. I also go ahead and make top stitch here on this part that I'm showing you. And lastly, I'll measure my collar stand. Remember I used 1/4 inch for my collar stand. I'll make a mark there, and I'll just top stitch right there on my collar stand. I'll iron this properly. So this is it after I have finished making my top stitch. This is what I have. You can see that it's looking very nice. It's looking very neat. So the last thing I'll be doing now is just to take this and iron it neatly. After ironing, I'll bring it back and show you what I have. So this is what I have, guys. You can see how my collar is looking. You can see that this is very simple. It's not difficult. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Bye.